Hello, everyone. Carlos Flores, back on basics. Um, Today's topic is going to be on servant leadership, and although it's kind of self-explanatory, I'm going to give you a little bit more expanded take on what it means to be a servant leader. And so, but before we do that, uh, make sure that you subscribe to Back on Basics 9985, my YouTube channel. Hit the notification button so that way you will be notified of any new videos that come on board. Hit the like button if you like this. Any comments or any topics that you want me to give you my take on, put them in the comment section. Also, you can connect with me on Facebook at Carlos Flores, or you can connect on Instagram at Back on Basics. So, servant leadership. It's it's another important topic. It seems like all of the topics that we're talking about are important, and they are, because what you're getting is kind of like you're going into a store, and what you're doing is you're going to go shopping. Each video will talk to you about a different option or a different skill that you may want to have, you may want to practice. And so remember, we've talked about some of these skills, right? Virtual fluency. We've talked about different kinds of leadership. We talked about knowing yourself. We talked about mind-body balance, right? Mind-body balance. I say it twice every single time. We also talk about that it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to support a young adult and an adult as well. So there's so many different topics. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be working towards achieving all of them. No, but you have the basics, right? I'm talking about the foundation. This is why Back on Basics is so important, because a lot of the time when you're doing something and you feel like you're not doing it well, or if you feel kind of like it's not working as well as it should be, you can always go back to the basics. You can always go back on basics and say, okay, I'm going to start here and I'm going to see what's going on, and I'm going to try to see how I can adapt so that way I can move forward and towards my goals, right? And so servant leadership is kind of like one of the pieces of the puzzle, and it fits because servant leadership is something that it's kind of like gift giving. And I have a video on gift giving that I did earlier on, but it's kind of like a gift that you're giving somebody, because what you're doing is saying, as a leader, I'm going to serve you, which is kind of interesting because this country, a lot of the times, leaders don't tend to look at themselves as servant leaders. They tend to look at themselves as, I am the boss, you are the worker, I will tell you what to do, you get to do it. And that's how you're going to be paid. But servant leaders do a lot of different things. They create a collaborative culture so that way people can collaborate. A servant leader takes pulls up his sleeves or her sleeves or their sleeves, and they're right there with everybody, working, helping. It doesn't mean that they're going to be there 8 hours. No. But if a servant leader rolls up his or her sleeves or their sleeve and they sit next to you, folding, cutting, rolling, right? Checking for mistakes, believe me, they could be doing something else as a leader, but they want to show you that all of you are the reason why the company, the organization, the store, the group is being successful. He or she or they are saying, you all are more important than some of the things that I could be doing as a leader, which they'll do. right? A leader sometimes works outside the boundaries. Uh, but you are more important because as a worker, as workers, you are the village that make this work. I mean, listen, let's be real, right? Uh, religion, it, they have a lot of servant leaders, no matter what religion it is. They have servant leaders. Not everybody's a servant leader, but there are a number of them that do. And those servant leaders can actually foster collaboration, can foster uh, the act of giving, can foster collegiality, like being, interacting with one another. It can foster a community where you help each other out. You greet people as you walk. When was the last time somebody lift their hand and say, "Hi, how are you? Good morning"? When was that last time? I'm hoping that through these basic videos that I'm doing, that you'll see the importance of doing that. The importance of smiling, the importance of eye-to-eye contact, the importance of knowing somebody's culture and what to do and what not to do. The important the importance of respecting somebody. And a servant leader is one of those that can do that, that will do that, that will say, look, I'm going to be right next to you, doing the same job that you're doing the same activity that you're doing, because I believe in you, all of you, right? It does take a village to build things. It does take a village to raise a child. It does take a village to humble a leader so that way they feel like they're part of something. And a servant leader has already seen that they're not above everybody. They don't want to be above everybody. They want to be in the middle of everybody and helping and bringing and doing. And again, those are the things that is important about servant leadership. They drive culture, right? If you go to work and you don't want to be at work, it may be because somebody is not driving the right culture. If for some reason you feel like you're working so hard, but yet you don't see the reason why you're doing what you're doing and you're being spent every day to go to work, it's because sometimes the organization does not have the leadership that is willing to roll up their sleeves and get to work when they need to. I know that some of you are going to say, well, I don't want to ruffle feathers and everything, and I get it. And sometimes you don't have to ruffle feathers, but communication helps a lot. And by building a culture, a leader builds a two-way communication, so that way we as workers can actually say, hey, I think this, can I give you a suggestion? Because I think this may work if we're able to do this. That's the reason why they invented suggestion boxes to give suggestions. But the thing is that if you write a suggestion and you don't put your name on it and you put it in there, what's the point, right? It's like somebody saying something, but they're not sure that they're really focused on what they are suggesting. They're not, they don't want to put their name on it because they're afraid of what's happening. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not a culture, work culture, or even a home culture, or whatever, or religious culture that focuses on the betterment of the group. A servant leader will do that. Again, they will drive the culture. They will sit and break bread with all of you, right? They will create a system that motivates you to do what you do, to get whatever focus is on. until you meet your goals, until the organization meets the goals. And so for example, right, again, look at the difference between churches. You have churches that have been going for centuries or tens and tens and tens of years, right? And they're small. Even though there's a lot of people, they're small. And then there's mega churches. They're huge. They take over a whole block or two or three. These are the churches that, I'm sorry, but if you need to have security at the door just to let people in and out, then I don't think that's a church. I mean, I get it. You need to have security to make sure that that a place is safe, but it just gives the impression that you're just letting certain people in and not all the people in. And then, is that a church or is that something else? Again, right? Servant leadership. But these churches, if you get a vision, right, from leadership on board about if we all work together, if it's $1 and there's 1,000 people, then there's $1,000 already. The power of compounding that I've been talking about in different videos. It works that way. Then it goes towards different projects. Then the church starts to grow, or the synagogue, or the monastery, or wherever, whatever other denomination you think. It doesn't have to be a church. But anyways, the power of servant leadership is key because you can drive culture. And if you drive culture, you will create change. And it doesn't have to be at work. It could be at home, your family. If you are a servant leader in your home, then you're teaching your kids this is somebody that has the best intentions for you and is able to do things collaboratively with you. This is what will get you places. Why do you think that sometimes in business, sometimes in different aspects, people have meetings outside of work? Sometimes they have gatherings outside of work. It's because a leader sees the of making somebody or a potential customer or a potential employee feel good about their mission, feel good about where they're heading. So servant leadership is very important. Servant leadership can change the way that people think, the way that people support each other, the way that they do that. Why am I talking about servant leadership? Because there's a lot of people with big ideas, great ideas. And so I'm talking to you, people with big ideas, great ideas. Remember, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community to make something successful. You can't do it all by yourself. You need to humble yourself and you need to say, I need your help. So, again, that's my take on the importance of servant leadership. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so that way you can get notified when new videos come on board. Every day there will be a new video. Hit the like button so that way you can show me which ones you like. If you have specific topics that you want me to give you my take on, put it in the comment section. Reach out to me on Facebook at Carlos Flores. Reach out to me on Instagram at Back on Basics. So, till next time, remember, it's better to serve than just stand there and not do anything, right? It's better to build a community because that will drive change no matter what. Back on basics.